Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. That's 10 a.m. if you're in Australia or 1 a.m. if you're in the UK. Remember guys though, if you do miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch channel. I upload all of my previous streams to Twitch. Remember too, if you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, type exclamation Discord in Twitch chat to get an invite link, or go to the About Me section on my Twitch channel and look in the panels down below. You'll see a blue graphic that says join the Phil Does 3D Discord. Just click that. We're going to continue working on the House in the Hollow game, which you can wishlist right now on Steam. Again, type exclamation Steam in Twitch chat, or go to the About Me section on my Twitch channel and look in my panels. You'll see a graphic that says wishlist the game on Steam. Yeah, we're working on a game called the House in the Hollow, and we're working on the kitchen for the building in that game. So the game has like an Art Nouveau, Art Deco building, and we're going to be working on the kitchen for that in the Unreal Engine. So let's jump straight in, I guess. As always, guys, if you've got any questions while I'm working, feel free to pop into chat and ask. If I can help you in any way, I'm happy to try. If all you want to do, though, is watch, that's completely fine. So, okay, let's jump straight into Unreal. So yesterday we were working on the doors for the kitchen cabinets because they're all interactive. Hellforge, hey Hellforge. If you want, there's the Discord link Hellforge has just popped in chat, and the Steam store link, and my website, which I keep forgetting about. If you want to know more about me and what I do, you can go to my website, phildoes3d.com. Okay, so yes, yesterday we were working on the doors for the kitchen cabinets and the oven and the fridge. We're going to continue doing that. Good morning to you too. I hope you're well, Hellforge. I might just grab a quick drink before we get stuck into it. Hellforge says, been buried in substance painter, so I forgot the time. And coffee. Yes, I'll have some coffee right now too. It's easily done. I've actually done that quite a few times myself. Forget what the time is. Nice coffee. Okay. So what are we going to move to next, I wonder? I guess. Let's start bringing in some of the assets just to make the kitchen look a bit prettier. So let's bring in the, oh, it's complaining, wants me to go to kitchen. Let's try that again. Let's bring in the apple basket. I think it might be a little bit big, so we might scale it back just a touch. You're doing pretty well overall. Hellforge says, just been really short on sleep the past few days. How are you doing today? I'm doing good, yeah, no. You guys know that I live in Melbourne in Australia, in Victoria, and we've been like human malware free for the last couple of months, but we've just had a little bit of an outbreak, so there's been a few cases reported this morning. Not a lot. I mean, I think there's like 15, but still. It's never ending, guys. Never ending. Anyway, but apart from that, I can't complain. Well, I can, but I won't. No, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So we'll put a little apple basket in the corner. I might just rotate it a little bit. And maybe move it over just a little bit. That should be good. Who doesn't love a basket full of apples? Hey Euro, it's good to see you. Everybody likes apples, don't they? Okay. What else we got? Let's bring in the bread basket, and just for balance, let's put it over here. And make it a bit bigger because it's a bit tiny. Let's put it, oh, I don't know, maybe over here. Now again, I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger, I think. Am I trying to maybe just a little bit smaller? I think I might have gone a bit too big. Just a little bit. There we go. Helpwood says never will be when some Ballens refuse to adhere to the quarantine regulations and mask mandates. Yeah, I know. We had a bit of a problem with the mask thingy. Like, we've been pretty good in Melbourne, but you've always had to wear masks if you're on public transport, and people have not been wearing masks on public transport. So yeah, there's always one or two in the crowd that won't wear a mask. I might just make this just a tad bigger, I think. Helpwood says the government finally got around to strongly advising the public to wear masks over here, and people lost their marbles and started protesting. What is wrong with people? Come on, people. Is it really that onerous for you to put a bloody mask on? I just don't get that. I look, that makes me angry, actually. When I hear people, and look, we have them in this country too. You're not unique, Helpwood. Yeah, people refusing to put a mask on. It's just, come on. It's not hard. It's not that onerous. You just wear it when you're around other people. I mean, it's not like they're asking you to put it on 24/7. Just do it, people. Do it. Think of other people and don't be so selfish and only think of yourself. I know they're not comfortable to wear, but it's not that bad. Come on. Euro says, if COVID is anything like the side effects from the vaccine I had yesterday, all those anti-vaxxers are welcome to it. But look, it's good to get the vaccine. Come on, you should be getting vaccinated. It's a good thing. Because, you know, you can die from the human malware. That is a possibility. So, now, the vaccines don't stop you from catching it, but they do stop you from dying from it. So, you really should get vaccinated. I know the side effects can be a little bit uncomfortable, but better than dying. Helpwood says, I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I do too. I hope you're feeling better. Euro says, yep, 1,000 times better than yesterday. Well, that's good to hear. Hey, Android Lust, it's good to see you. Android Lust says, hey all, I just got here, but Helpwood, that's kind of funny that people are protesting against masks. Funny and sad. It is sad. And, like, we have people in this country that will protest as well, but it's too bad. It's the law. They get fined if they don't put a mask on, and that's what should be happening. So put a mask on, people. Euro agrees. Android Lust says, hey. Android Lust says the Euro could be worse than the vax side effects. I didn't get COVID, but I had the vax, and I wouldn't want COVID after those side effects. Euro says, yeah, that was my second dose. Had nothing with the first. Android Lust says, yeah, the first dose was nothing. I expected that. With the second, I was wrong. I haven't had any, and I'd like to. I really want to, but I can't. They're not... in Australia, they've broken it up into over 50s and under 50s because of some of the problems that you can have with the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, the blood clotting problem. I mean, it's not huge, it's not widespread, but the government wanted to be on the safe side. So the only people they're vaccinating at the moment are the over 50s, because the only vaccine they've really got in great amounts in Australia is the Oxford AstraZeneca one. We're getting the Pfizer one at the end of the year, around about October, and that's when the rest of us can get our vaccinations. So. But if I could, I would, for sure. Euro says, yeah, that was my second dose. I had nothing with the first. Euro says, it's pretty much nuked the good effects of my other medications, and that's not a very nice place to be in. No, that's not. I'm glad you're feeling a bit better, though. And yeah, from what I've heard, and Euro got the Pfizer one, if I remember correctly. And that is supposed to be less, you're supposed to get less side effects from the Pfizer than, say, the AstraZeneca, because the AstraZeneca, they use, it's either a cold or a flu virus to actually, like a dead sort of version of it, from my understanding. I'm not an expert. So you're more likely to feel a little bit under the weather with the AstraZeneca one than you are the Pfizer one. Alfred says, wait, are you saying that you're actually under 50? I am saying that. Regardless of what Sniper Girl might say and think, yes, I am under 50. Thank you very much. Euro says under 50,000. Oh, come on. Alfred says, I wonder if it's you or me or both that gets the slap down now. Euro, you're both going to get a slap down, I think. Android Lust says, to be honest, Australia dealt with the pandemic better than some other countries. Since you all closed off people going into the country, I wouldn't mind being patient. I wouldn't mind being patient with getting the vax. Yeah, well, see, that's the other problem that we've had in this country, of course, is because we've had so few cases, because we locked ourselves down pretty early, not allowing international visitors and all that sort of jazz, not letting us out of the country. People are hesitant to get the vaccination now. So you're getting people over 50 who can get vaccinated, hesitant to do it because they've heard the media reports about these blood clots and stuff. Even though it's a very small percentage of people that have a problem, people are wary. So the government are in a bit of a bind. They did so well in keeping us safe and stopping it from spreading that now people aren't willing to get the vaccination because they think, well, why? We have no very little coronavirus in the country, so I should call it the human malware. YouTube will flag me. So yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword there. Euro says, do note I'm probably more susceptible to side effects than regular humans, so my experience is probably on the worst end of the scale. Yeah, well, that's a very good point to make as well. But I know there are all these sorts of wild theories that fly around the internet about what's in the vaccination and what the government are trying to do, and they're trying. The wildest one I've heard is that they're tracking you. They put some microchips or something in, or nanobots or something in the vaccine so they can track you. Why would they want to? I mean, if the government wanted to track me, they'd have a very boring time looking at where I was and what I was doing. I just don't get some of these wild crackpot theories. It's just nonsense. Helpwood says, also helps that Australia is a huge island, so it's not the easiest thing to get into the country. Well, no, that's true. It's not like Europe where countries share so many borders with other countries. Australia is one big island, so we can sort of lock the borders down pretty quickly and pretty easily. It's the same as New Zealand. Again, that's why both of the New Zealand and Australia, we haven't had a lot of cases, so because they can lock it down. Helpwood says, unlike England that has a tunnel to France. Euro says that the UK buggered that up. They still buggered it up. They have an outbreak and they have localized lockdowns, yet they are still letting people into the country. Yeah, I don't get that. I think a lot of countries, they don't want to lock down too quickly because they're afraid of what will happen to the economy. Because a lot of countries rely on tourism, or they rely on foreign workers maybe, or so closing the borders down is it can be a major problem for the economy. So, but I've always, and I've said this to you guys before, I would rather keep people alive than keep them employed. You can always find another job if you do lose your job because of a lockdown. But if you're dead, you can't. So, you know, I'm happy in Australia that they lock the borders down. Most Australians are. We would rather be safe than have the border open. And the government at this stage are not talking about reopening the border in Australia until the middle of next year. So we're going to be perhaps in lockdown. Well, no international visitors, tourists until the middle of next year. And that, of course, means we can't fly overseas as well. Helpwood says Sweden is an unending train wreck of idiotic failure. Sweden, they always do things their own way in Sweden, though, don't they? Android Lust says saying Australia is an island makes it seem like it's smaller than what it really. Well, it's the biggest island. If you want to call it an island, it is the biggest island in the world because the continent is huge. Most of it's desert, but it's huge. So yeah, but yeah, you could call it an island. A big island. Yuri says more metal in bloodstream from nanobots. Greater Wi-Fi aerial equals better reception. What's not to like? That's right. Helpwood says more metal equals brutal. Android Love says, yeah, the conspiracies with the vaccine is the dumbest stuff people have spread. Well, it never ceases to amaze me some of the dumb stuff people believe. It's just people are I don't know. Some people are just weird. Yuri says, I'm just taking the piss out of people who come out with those conspiracies now. They're so far off base, it's the only sensible response. I just ignore them, basically, because you can't argue with those people. They'll believe what they want to believe, and regardless of what proof you give them that they're wrong, they won't believe you. So it's pointless even trying to argue with them, really. Yuri says, technically Europe and Asia and Africa would be the largest island. Well, I guess if you want to think of them as an island, that's true. Africa actually is huge. It's a massive continent. Absolutely massive. Okay, what are we going to bring in now? Let's bring in some of the... let's bring in the mixer, the scales and the toaster. So I think what we'll do is we'll put the how do I want to do this? Maybe we'll put the toaster and the scales. No, we'll put the scales here and we'll put the toaster and the mixer over there. So scales over here. Let's rotate it around the right way. And I think the scales might be. I was going to say they might be a little bit big. Might scale it back just a touch. Maybe it was a touch too much. So if we put the scales over here. Yuri says, I just keep feeding the conspiracy trolls, stroke their fires, see how far I can go with them before they realise I'm making a mockery of them. It's free entertainment, it certainly is, and they are entertaining. Save and copy. Well, I'll have the copy and then I'll do the save. Actually, I should do the save and then have the copy, actually. Let's do that. Epic Games are having another reveal on the Unreal Engine 5 tonight. It's a live stream. It happens and I think it's on in about 10 or 15 hours from now. Just putting that out there for anyone that might be interested. So if you do want to know more about what's going on with the Unreal Engine 5, either jump on Epic Games Twitch or YouTube channel and wait for the live stream. That's happening this evening, I believe. They're going to go into a bit more detail about the technology in the Unreal Engine 5 and maybe talk about when they're going to release a beta of it. It may even happen immediately after the live stream, for all I know. Hey, Sniper Girl, it's good to see you. Hi, and chat. Sorry I'm late. That's okay. I like the clothing scans that you put in the Discord server, Sniper Girl. They look really good. Nice scans. Sniper Girl says, so are we all your dildos? You are all my dildos. All my dildos are here. I make one slip of the tongue yesterday and I'll never live it down. I'm doing really well. I hope you are too. Yeah, there you go. Yura says it's happening tonight, 11 hours time. So yeah, if you want to find out more about the Unreal Engine version 5, due to be released at the end of this year. I believe they're going to go into beta before then though, so you can test it out. Check out their live stream tonight, so it should be interesting. I think today was actually supposed to be a Let's Chat stream. I looked at my schedule on my Twitch channel and I think it said Just Chatting, but I forgot. We could do a Just Chat later if you want. Yura says, I saw that clip this morning. Good work, comrades. Okay, we're going to bring in the toaster and the mixer, so let's bring the mixer in. Whoa, this huge mixer. Do I want to rotate? My mixer's base is this way, but let's see. Let's rotate a little bit and see what we like. Like mine, I have a mixer at home and it faces like that because it's easy to get the bowl on and off. If it's like this, it's a bit more difficult. That doesn't mean anything. This is, you know, we can put it in any angle we want. We might angle it just to make it a bit more interesting. Yura says, I saw that clip this morning. Your apples look huge next to the mixer now. They do, don't they? Maybe the mixer I think is too small when I compare it to the cupboard. I think I scaled the mixer down a bit too much. Or are my apples too big? Maybe my apples are a bit too big. Hang on, let me judge here. Yeah, I think the apples are too big. They're going a bit too big with the apples. They could be very big apples. Oops, that's a thing, isn't it? There we go. Maybe like that. These apples are an asset I actually created for on my ArtStation. One of the, no, yeah, it might be on my ArtStation. I know one of the models I have for sale on ArtStation has is that bench, that stone bench, which we actually use in the game. And I created these apples. If you look at the render I did for the bench, they're actually sitting on the stone bench with an apple tree in the background. Just move these over a little bit. I might just rotate them a little bit too, just to make them look a little bit more interesting. I just turned around to look at how high my mixer was compared to this one. Now what have you posted here? All my dildos are here. Oh man, I gotta watch my mouth. She's gonna clip me saying yeah, all these horrible things. So if you want to see the clip that Sniper Girl posted of all of my dildos being here, jump on the Discord. Oh, there she goes. She's popped a link there in Twitch chat. I didn't see that. Sniper Girl says, having way too much fun with this. Yes, I know. I'm going to have to watch my mouth around you people. Let's bring the toaster in and then we can make sure we've got our scales correct. And yes, I know, if I'd scaled this correctly before I'd exported it, it would have made my life so much easier. Let's rotate the toaster this way, or this way. No, this way. And it's a little bit big. And let's move it back and maybe move it over. Make sure it's sitting down on the counter. I wonder if we might just go off center just a little bit, just to make it look a bit more interesting. I might, these are all, you see these are all very evenly balanced along the countertop. So I'm going to move this over just so it doesn't look quite so balanced. It just makes it look more interesting if things are a little unbalanced. It's the same sort of thing. You remember, you'll see what I mean when we come to the table here. Putting things directly in the middle and balancing everything up doesn't look as interesting as if they're off balance. So yeah, we're just going to move those a bit closer together. We might even just move them both down a little bit, just so it doesn't look quite so balanced. Which is different from when you're composing a scene, where you do want it to look balanced, an overall scene. Objects tend to look better if they're a little unbalanced. Separate objects, that is, in a scene. Okay, what else we got? What else we got? I do want to keep bringing in more of the utensils as well. We haven't done that yet. Sniper Girl says, you know me, nothing but love. Yeah, I know. She says, yeah, agree. Off balance is real life. Yeah, well, that's right. People don't put things directly, you know, they don't balance everything up when they put things down in real life. So. And it looks more visually interesting if things are not balanced like that. But again, if you're doing an overall composition, you do want to make sure the overall composition is balanced. So not the individual items, but if we were like wanting to do a composition where we're looking at the entire room, you do want to make sure that looks balanced. Sniper Girl says, nobody but OCD people keep everything balanced. That's right. Andrew Luss says, balance is like symmetry. Symmetry is perfect, but perfect can be boring. Yes. Okay, what else are we going to do here? We're going to... I want to bring in a plant, I think. Actually, I was going to put it there, wasn't I? I guess we could put it there. No. We may have to move our scales, because I think I want to put a plant here, actually. So I'm just going to move these scales just here for the moment. And we're going to bring in a pot, which is this one here. We might make it just a little bit bigger. Rotate it around so the handles are not maybe like that. I do need to bring some dirt in. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my general assets, look for dirt. This one will do, pot dirt. Scale it in a little bit. A little bit more, still a little bit big. I might have made it just a little bit small, so let's scale it up a bit more. Man, it's either too big or too small. Scale it back a little bit more. That's good. And let's bring in the plant, which will be this one. Scale it up. And let's just rotate it around so we can get a nice silhouette going on. It's actually been designed that the back here has no leaves for the wall, so it really should be turned like that. I might make it just a little bit bigger as well, just so it's a bit more of a feature in the room. Okay, what else we got? Guntigi! Hey Guntigi, it's good to see you. Sniper Girl says, perfectly balanced like all things should be. It's good to see you, Guntigi. Just relaxing and taking life easy, good to hear. Sniper Girl says, relaxing always a good thing. Modelling a bit and working on my hobby, trying to be Phil. Guntigi says, you don't want to be Phil. Guntigi says, how about you, Sniper Girl, anything good? You should check out the clothing scan she did in the Discord server, Contigi. They look really cool. The scale. Let's move the scale, I think. So we're going to rotate it and move it over so it's closer to the bread basket. I'm wondering if I should move it forward. Yeah, I wonder if we should just make it a little off center like that. I might make it just a little bit smaller as well. And you'll notice when I textured them up, I did texture them up in a color that would match our kitchen. So blue and blue, because who doesn't like blue? Nobody, that's who. Everybody likes blue. What's your favorite color, guys? My favorite color would be probably, I like orange. Orange is a nice color. I don't wear orange, but as far as colors go, I do like the color orange or purple. Orange or purple, I think, are probably my favorites, I would say. Purple, Android Dust, yeah, mine too. Contigi's is green to match his username. Yeah, I like purple too. Purple's a nice colour. Sniper Girl says, not to sound like a stereotype, pink purple is my second favourite. Yeah, I like orange and I like purple. It's hard for me to judge between those two which would be my favourite. Probably purple, I would say, would be my favourite, but orange is a close second. Okay. And again, I'm just checking my scaling here. I still think the scales might be a little bit big. Not sure I like. Maybe we'll move it back a little. Okay, I think we need a little sort of bin here because what kitchen doesn't have a bin? So let's bring a bin in. We'll make it a bit smaller. And we'll move it over here in this corner. Now I do have to be careful. I can't remember this. Some of these doors, when I did testing last night to make sure all of our doors were opening like they should, and they do, the problem was this door up here and this one down here, when they opened, they actually intersected the fridge. So what I've done is I've locked these cupboard doors. So in the game, you won't be able to unlock, like they'll rattle when you try and open them, but they won't actually open. They're locked. And that's so that when the player opens them, they don't intersect the fridge. The rest of the cupboard doors are unlocked. And that's why I just can't remember whether I locked this one or not. No, it's not locked. We could lock it though. It's just a checkbox here. Because if I don't, then, and we put the bin here, when they open the door is going to intersect the bin again. I might just make the bin a little bigger. I think I went a bit too small on it. We have to make sure it's not too close to the fridge so it doesn't affect the fridge door. And I think we'll be okay. I might just move it over a little bit. So we're going to lock this cupboard door as well, so that one won't be they won't be able to open that one either. And I think we should be okay with our fridge door. I don't think it will affect the bin. It won't hit the bin when it's opened up, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think we'll just clear the bin. Sniper Girl says to continue doing good. You know me, I'm driving Phil insane like always. Always working on trying to figure out a master material for my gas station project. Andrew Loss says everyone's username is their favourite colour. Yeah, how about that? Go figure, as Sniper Girl says. Okay, so what else do we have here? I want to bring in now some of these I actually want to be interactable. So what I mean by that is I want part of the gameplay is you can pick an object up and you can examine it in the viewport. So I just have to be aware of what I want to be able to be examined. I don't really think any of these need to be examinable, but it might be interesting to have the teapot examinable. So what I need to do is I need to create an inspectable. Oh, there we go. I already did it. Too good. So the teapot is inspectable. So it's an object that the player can actually pick up and use. I'm just wondering why my pivot is off there. I just want to check that. That is not correct. Why is the pivot point off center? Because it's not off center here. We might have to jump into Max so I can check the pivot on that. Let me just look at the original mesh. Actually, that's not going to help me. Because yeah, the pivot point, but what happens with these interactable objects is it will rotate around the pivot. So if I was to try and use it like this in the game, you're going to have the teapot off to the side of the screen, and when the player rotates it, it's going to rotate around, not the center point. You really want it to rotate around the center point. So that could be a problem with the axes inside of the object. So we're just going to jump into Max, and we're going to look at that teapot. 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 No, the axis is actually right. It is in the middle of the teapot. So that's not an issue. So why is it an issue here? Shouldn't be. Maybe. Let's try changing, resetting the location back to 0. That's better. Now we should be okay. So yeah, we'll put the teapot on the stove. It might be a little bit big, I think, so we might scale it back just a bit.
Oh yeah.
And I think we'll rotate it as well to make it look a bit more interesting. Maybe like that. Again, I just want to make sure it's sitting on our hot plate correctly. Let's do a quick save and I'll have a copy. Sniper Girl says teapot and not a coffee pot. Blasphemy, I know. I know it is blasphemy. I haven't actually created a coffee pot, unfortunately. We could put one in. That's doable. What else? What else? What else? Because, you know, if it was my kitchen, it would be coffee, for sure. Not tea. I mean, I do like tea, don't get me wrong. But I do like my coffee more than my tea. So, I think... I think let's bring in a plate for the middle of this door, for this table. So I have this Persian-y looking bowl. Bring that in. And again, I'm not going to put it right in the middle, I'm going to put it off center, so I'm going to put it down toward this end. I will go in the middle of the table widthwise, but not lengthwise. And I think some fruit or something in that bowl would look really cool. So let's do that. Sniper Girl says, I don't even drink coffee. Had to. I'll drink sweet tea. Yeah, look, I like tea as well. I used to drink tea as a kid because my mother was British. So I was a big tea drinker when I was a kid, but now as an adult it's coffee. I don't think I've had a cup of tea for the last 10 years. Andrew Dot says, I thought sweet tea was a southern US thing only. Sweet tea. Okay, let's bring in a watermelon. because, you know, why not? Where is my watermelon? What's going on there? Let's try that again. Is it really small? No. That's quite confusing to me. I don't know where my watermelon is. What? I think it is. It's off center and it's really big. Okay. Let's fix that up. Just before we do that, let's just do a save here. Jump back into Max. Open up the melons. And I believe that will be under food, and then melons, and then this one. Yeah, you see my pivot is completely up here. So let's fix that. Send it to object. I'm going to make sure these ones are all centered as well. And because we reset the pivot, we'll do a reset on the X form. And collapse the stack. And this is melon 4, let's re-export that one. And collapse the stack. And melon 3. Because who doesn't like melons? Everybody likes melons. I like watermelon actually. Melon 2. And melon 1. Resave the master file and re-import the melons. Okay, let's try that again. Let's bring in our melon. Our huge melon. Now I could have set this up in Max as the bowl and the fruit and exported that as one object, but keeping the bowl as a separate object will allow me to reuse the bowl somewhere else in the building if I wanted to. Stop that. The same with the melons here, like I could put 2 watermelons in here instead of just one, and hardware instance both of them. So let's rotate the melon a little bit to make it look a bit more interesting. Okay, what else have we got? Let's bring in maybe some more melons, because why not? A bowl full of melons. This melon's a bit big. Sniper Girl says, was born down in Redneckville, USA. It's a watermelon seed. Android Lust. Sniper Girl says, North Carolina. Sniper Girl says, I live in Illinois and I've been here for, I don't know, 5 years. Still unsweetened tea, nasty. Android Lust agrees and says, unsweetened tea tastes like mud. I don't like unsweetened coffee either. I find it too bitter. Let's just face it, sugar's better in everything. Let's bring in the next melon. Oops. I don't want to scale non-uniformly. That's a no-no. Again, we could make these interactive objects that the player could pick up and rotate and look at, but they really don't hold any gameplay value, so there's really not much point. I might just rotate that to make it look a little bit less perfectly centered. Sniper Girl says, I used to always order tea when I lived down south. I can count on one hand the number of times I've had tea up here. Android Lust says, sugar was the best and the worst thing to ever be made edible. And Sniper Girl agrees. She says 9.1k, getting close. She wants to play a game. She wants to redeem that viewer points. Phil plays a game. Phil has to install a game before he can play a game, which I will do if you do want to redeem those points. If you want to blow all those sweet earned points on Phil playing a game, that's your prerogative, and Phil will do it. Phil just has to decide which game he wants to install and play. Let's rotate this one. Maybe like that. Maybe like that. Might even make it a little bit smaller. Let's throw a cabbage in there for good measure as well, because he doesn't like melon and cabbage. Might be a little bit big for a cabbage. Let's scale it back a little bit. Is there anything else I want to put in there? I haven't actually brought in all the fruit yet. I do have a file here that I haven't actually imported the models for. Let's save that. Which are vegetable. Yeah, this file here. So we do have all these vegetables. I would probably like to bring in. We might use them for the fridge or something inside the fridge. I'm just wondering if any of those might look interesting in the bowl. I'm just trying to get mix the color a little bit. So, because at the moment it's very yellow and very green. So I'm just looking for a vegetable that we can put in here that's just going to make for an interesting looking, an eye-catching colour. A pineapple would look cool. It's a nice orangey yellow. The pumpkin will look cool as well. We could even go with a pile of bananas for more of a yellow as well. So maybe we can go with a pineapple and some bananas. I'm just trying to think of my grouping. Pineapple and bananas. Yeah, I think pineapple and bananas will look cool. Let's export the bananas. And we'll go with this taller looking pineapple. Let's import those. Bananas. I think my bananas are a bit small, so I'm going to jump back in here and we're going to, well, they should be alright. It's looking a little tiny. Yeah, they're too tiny. I think what's happened here is I haven't done a reset on the X-form, so I'm just going to reset the X-form on this and on this. I must remember to do it for all of the objects though. Let's re-export the bananas. And re-export the pineapple. Let me check if that did fix the problem. Yeah, that fixed the problem. Let's work on the shader before we get too carried away here. So bananas. Oop. And I just want to pull in the normal map for that. Which one was it? Which one was it? It's the 10. This one here. Material, let's just rename this one underscore MSH for mesh. So we're nice and organized. Snappy Girl says, I don't care what game I'll want you to play. I don't care what game I want you to play. Okay, that fruit and veggies look fresh as heck. They do, don't they? Nothing goes bad in the hollow. No, hollows. No, it doesn't. Nothing goes bad in the hollow. Everything is crisp and fresh. Well, time stops. Does time stop? I can't remember what we said. I know you're trapped once you get in the hollow. No, time doesn't stop, but you can't get out. Maybe for fruit time stops. How about that? Android Lost says, what is the thing between the pineapple and the carrot? Between the pineapple and the carrot. Oh, this thing. This is what they call a fennel. So it's fennel. Let's bring in the pineapple. Rename it _mesh. Let's find the material, which is this one. And let's bring in the normal map. Pineapple, I believe it's this one here. Okay. Let's bring in the pineapple. Where is the pineapple? There it is. Big pineapple. Stop that. Let's do that again. I think the pineapple would look good if we rotate it a little bit so it's not standing straight up like that. Let's move it down. Maybe move it over a little bit. No, we don't want it sticking through the bowl though, so let's fix that up. What we might do is just move the cabbage off center a little bit as well. And we're going to bring in a bunch of bananas. Because who doesn't like bananas? I love bananas. And they're so good for you. I do have a more of a rotten banana as well, which we might bring in. Bananas can get very big, believe it or not. The bananas I bought the other day, they're huge. They're like that long. They're massive. Well, maybe not that long, but about that long. They're huge. Let me get the camera correct. They're really big anyway. So you can get some very big bananas. Let's move that there. Maybe move them over a little bit. We want them to look like they're resting on top of the melon. I might just rotate the pineapple this way a little. And let's do a save and have some coffee. Another girl says, I don't care, I don't know. No, not, I don't care. Oh, you don't know, not you don't care. Okay, look, part of playing a game is not allowing you people to choose which game I play. That's not part of the redemption of the point. I actually don't have any games installed at the moment, like I told you guys yesterday when I rebuilt the new machine. I didn't reinstall my games. They're still on my old stream machine here. But I can install whichever. I don't know if we need anything else in our fruit bowl. Cabbage really shouldn't be in a fruit bowl, but hey. I wonder if something just here might look interesting. It just looks a little empty in that spot in the middle there. What else we got here? We will no apples because we have our apple basket over in the corner. We go with another different type of pineapple. We can go with this, which I believe is, oh, it's an orange, okay. We could even go with a chili. Or we could go with this type of pumpkin here. Let's have a look. What would look good? I think we don't want anything too high, but we want something just big enough to fill that little gap. And probably something that's not a yellow. So a red would look good. We do have a mango here as well, which would look okay. We want to avoid a yellow, so we'll avoid the second pineapple. We've got two different types of mango, I believe. Actually, no, this is a pear. That's a pomegranate. We could go with a pomegranate. No, I think we'll go with a chili, just because we can. Let's reset the XFORM on that. And export. Import. Rename. Rename. And let's import the chili. They call it a pepper. Pepper is its correct name, but it's a chili. It's a form of chili, so we can call it chili. And the chili, the huge chili.
Is nothing short of a miracle.
I'm doing this just so we can get a sense of balance in the bowl, more than anything really. And the red adds a nice change from the yellow and the green. But we'll put it off center so it's not so perfectly straight up and down.
Sound waves reaching the microphone are changed into impulses of electric current. It's the most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
Hit 'em with the rhythm in the face, pick 'em way back.
That should be enough. Okay, what else can we put on our table? I think we're going to put some pies, because who doesn't like pies? So we're going to go with an apple pie, which will make a little bit bigger.
Stop hitting me.
And we'll go with a cherry pie, which is a bit too big. And I might just move both of those a little bit further down. Okay, let's do a save. I'll have a copy and then we can think of what else we want to put in here. Remember to save and copy. Yes, always good advice, thank you. Alfwood. Andrew Dust says, but bananas are the worst common fruit in my opinion, of course. Oh no, bananas are great. They're really healthy. I like the taste of them. Can't go wrong with banana. Like I love bananas in smoothies and on pancakes and in custard. Love bananas. Personally, anyway. That pepper is huge, Android Lust says. Yeah, it might be a little big. Let's scale it back a little bit. There we go. It's a big pepper anyway, but it might have been just a little bit big. Let's just make sure we position it correctly. I wonder if we should bring another pepper in. For over here. Yeah, let's duplicate it again. And let's rotate it so it's not obvious that it's a copy of the same pepper. Maybe we'll put it like that. And we'll scale this one down just a little bit more. Just so it looks like the top of the pineapple here is resting on something. It's not just sort of sticking up in the air like that, which it would do anyway because most of the body of the pumpkin is down here, but just makes a bit more sense if there's something behind it. Sort of like propping it up a little bit. You guys know what I mean.
Just listen. That's the way computers talk.
There we go. That's better. Now, I think what I'm going to have to do here is we won't know for sure until we start finishing the lighting for the room. But I think I'm going to have to bring some candles in here and here because if I go into lit mode, even though we haven't done the lighting correctly yet, even when we bring in lights for the walls here and here, I'm concerned that the cupboards down here are way too dark. Like the player has to be able to open these, and to be able to open them, they have to be able to see them. And even when we bring lights in up here on the wall, I don't think we're going to get enough light hitting down here at the bottom of the cabinet. I want to avoid putting, like we have in the other rooms, we put candles on the ground. We could do that here, and we may end up having to do that. But my thinking at this stage is we'll probably bring candles in for the table here to sort of throw some light that way. And here to throw some light that way. Just so that the player can see the cabinets a bit better. The upper ones are fine. It's the lower ones that we're going to have a problem with. And the candles will help to add a bit more atmosphere anyway. When we've got them in every other room, so we may as well have them in this room as well. So that's my thinking at this stage. But we'll look at the candles once we start doing the lighting, once we've finished setting the room up. So we're going to do a save all. Okay, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring in, we've got this bit of cabinet here, I'm going to bring in the, I have these little jars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this jar 3 times in 3 different sizes. But what I want to do first is I want to turn it into an inspectable object. So we're going to duplicate this blueprint. We're going to call it inspectable jar. And we're going to swap out the mesh for the jar. Now this is a bug in the blueprint, so what I need to do is I need to open up the material and just assign it here. There we go. Compile it, save it. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back into our kitchen. Inspectable jar. Let's pull that in. I'm just making sure the pivot's in the middle so that when the player inspects it, and it looks like the pivot is not really in the middle. So I think we have that same problem of the having to do a reset on the X-Bomb. So we're going to look at the jar inside of Max. Telford says, remind me if I'm wrong, but this house has been abandoned for a while. Well, see, it's hard to say exactly. The house. Well, I was going to actually when we were texturing the thinking about doing the texturing for the kitchen. I thought, well, maybe the kitchen's been locked up and no one's been able to get in there for a while, but we decided not to go, and so I was going to do really distressed looking texturing, like dirty and old and peeling and all that sort of stuff. But then we decided we weren't going to go quite in that direction because the rest of the house, the texturing is quite clean and new, not new, but clean. So we went with a cleaner kitchen, a little bit distressed, but not too much. We just have a bit of distressing here and there on the wood. And see, the game story is once you enter the hollow, so once you actually go on the grounds of the estate that the house is on, you can't get back out again. But that's not to say that somebody was not trapped there just prior to you, and it's a magic house anyway, so yeah. If you're talking about the fruit being all fresh and not rotten, that's probably the reason. Android Lost says, I don't want to meta game, but I bet the freshness makes sense with the story of the game. Yeah, again, because it's the hollow and it's a magical house anyway, who's to say what effect that would have on fruit in that environment, you know? It's a game. I could have put rotten fruit in there, but then I thought, well, it doesn't really match the rest of the house to have the kitchen completely cobwebbed and yucky. Unlike the attic and unlike the basement where there will be cobwebs. Well, you know that there are up in the attic. I got carried away. Sniper Echo, it's good to see you. I hope you're well. Sniper says, hey mate, how you doing? Grizzly Gear. Oh, Grizzly Gear. Sorry, Grizzly Gear. I didn't notice you. Hey, Grizzly Gear. It's good to see you. Yeah, I just noticed as well. Sorry, Grizzly Gear and Sniper. It's good to see both of you. Sniper Echo at Sniper Echo. How are you doing? What? You're asking yourself? Sniper Girl. Okay. Good to hear. Good to hear you guys are good. Yeah, so we're going to jump back into Max and we're going to look at that. Actually, just before I do that, if I don't do this now, I know I'll forget. So I'm just going to do a reset on these vegetables before we close this file out, because we're going to bring these in and we'll probably put some vegetables in the fridge. Because I haven't really thought about what's going to go in the fridge. So just before I close the file down, I'm going to reset the X-Form on the bits of fruit that we didn't export already. So I'll know when I open it up next that I'm good to go. That's what I'm trying to say. We did that one, we need this one, and we need the carrot. Okay. Now let's open up that little jar. Glazed jar. And I just want to reset the pivot on this. And I'm going to do a reset on the X-Form as well, just to be on the safe side. And re-export the glazed jar. And then we'll re-import it in Unreal. And now our pivot is in the middle, so when we inspect it inside of the engine, when the player picks it up, it'll rotate around the middle of the viewport, which is what we want. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to duplicate this 3 times. So I'm going to make another 2. And we're going to scale one of them up. And I'm going to scale another one of them up, but not maybe as big as the first one. Oh, wow, stop doing that, Unreal. It's so annoying. I'm going to move the camera and it moves the object. So we'll put the big one toward the back. And then the medium one there, and then the smaller one just off to the side a little bit. And we'll just move the 3 of them down a little bit so they're not quite near the middle of the cabinet there. Okay. So they're all inspectable and the player will be able to pick them up. Let me just make sure this is sitting on the counter and inspect them. I might just make this one just a touch smaller. And yeah, like I said, I forgot today was supposed to be just chat. So if you do want to do just chat, we could do that soon, if you guys really want to do that. Because in my schedule on my Twitch page, it does say just chat. I think what I might do here is I might swap these 2 around. So I'm going to move that one over there, move this one down here. Like that. Yeah, that's better. It flows better if the smaller one is down this end and not down that end. Just looks better. Let's do a quick save. I'm doing really well, Sniper. I hope you are too. Sniper says to help or just swear I can't work this thing. Sniper Girl says doing good. Grizzly Gear says to Sniper Girl doing good. Just on that retopology grind. Sniper Echo says the grind my favourite pastime. Grizzly Gear says, no problem, I just had to pop in. Good, well, it's good to see you. Remember, guys, I'm not streaming next week. I'm back the week after. So, no streams next week, back the week after. Sniper Girl says to Grizzly Gear, I have fun. I got to do that crap pretty soon. Not looking forward to it. Hellport says to Sniper Echo, doing alright. Grizzly Gear says to Sniper Girl, I feel you. That one thing I think most people hate to do. I think it's legit. Sniper Echo says, I'm doing alright, still busy as hell, aren't we all? And Sniper Girl's asking Grizzly Gear what he's rude apologising. Okay, so Sniper Echo says, I had so many questions for the chat stream. Alas, another time, I guess. Well, no, we could do the chat stream if you guys want. Do you want to do the last half hour as just chat? I can do that if you guys want to do that. I'm easy, as you guys know. I'm happy to do whatever you guys want. I can switch to just chat for the last half an hour. But just before we do that, let's bring in, because we need to bring in the rest of the utensils. I've only brought some of them in, but I think we might bring in this little tray of dirty dishes, which is a bit too small. Let's rotate it. Maybe like that. Did I scale this evenly? Yeah, no, I did. Just worried I didn't scale. No, I did scale it evenly. It's alright. Because it's, you know, the last people in the kitchen here were disgusting and didn't clean their dishes. Sniper Girl says, yeah, let's do that. Do like Just Chat streams. Are you being facetious, or do you want me? I think we will, for the last half an hour of today's stream, once I get this sort of position, I'll switch to Just Chat. Because today was meant to be a Just Chat stream, and I forgot. I got so caught up in setting up my kitchen, I forgot. Because, yeah, on the schedule, it does say Just Chat. So we're going to sort of like have the last half hour for Just Chat. Because I'm not streaming next week, so... Let's do a save all. Grizzly Sniper says to Grizzly Gear, at least you don't at yourself in live streams. Yes, if you want to wishlist the game, guys, you see me working on here, you can click that link Hellforge has popped into Twitch chat, and that will take you to the Steam store page where you can wishlist the game. And that way Steam will send you a reminder when the game is released. And if you want to join the Discord server, click that link Hellforge popped into chat and become a Fildo. Sniper Girl says the sink is filthy as hell, but the dishes... No, the dishes are not clean. They're not clean. They're dirty. Look. They're dirty dishes. Dirty. They're not clean at all. And you're right, the sink is absolutely disgusting. It looks more disgusting in unlit mode. It'll be less disgusting looking when it's in lit mode. But in unlit mode, it certainly does look disgusting. Well, cleaner, she says. Well, yeah, maybe they're cleaner than the sink. That's true. Hellford says, "Hey, I'll have you know I showered this morning." Sniper Girl says, "No, legit. I do like Just Chat streams, but we're going to do that now." Hellford says, "And it's the last week of the month too." It is. That's the last stream of the last month. The very last stream of each month is supposed to be Just the Chat. And on my Twitch page, in the schedule on my Twitch channel, it does say Just Chat. So we're going to do that now. So I'm just going to make sure I saved everything. And I'm going to swap over to my Just Chat OBS stream. And we're going to do Just Chat. So what do you guys want to chat about? I'm just going to close down Unreal while you guys are thinking about that. And close Max down. So yes, the like we were saying before, Epic Games tonight will be having another live stream talking about the Unreal Engine 5. That should be worth watching, because we're all keen to see what they've got planned. So the beta should be released any time now. Grizzly Gear says to Sniper Girl, "So I finished up the sword this morning. Now I'm starting to shield, and I have the character last." Again, if you want to see what Grizzly Gear is talking about, jump on the Discord and look in the gallery, because he posted images to what he's working on there, and it looks really cool. So yeah, I'm interested to see what Epic have to say about Unreal Engine 5, because it's due to be released around September, October of this year, unless it gets pushed back. But they probably will release a beta, and they may even announce the beta being available after the stream tonight, so we'll see how that goes. That should be interesting. Not that I'm planning on the game that we're working on here will not probably be updated to UE5 for release. even though Epic have said that the projects that are working in 425, 426 should carry over to Unreal Engine 5 without a problem. That's what they've said. But it would be too close to the release of the game if we stick to our schedule for the game, that is, when the engine is released. And yeah, first releases of an engine can be a bit buggy sometimes. So if I was releasing a commercial project, unless you have access to Unreal 5 now, which some developers do, they have early access, so they're probably working on stuff right now. And chatting to Epic about any problems that they run into. I wouldn't generally, if I'm releasing a commercial game and you're not working with the engine at the moment, like you don't have access to it before it's released, I wouldn't be switching my project to UE5. It's a new version of the engine, it's using new technology. Chances are you're going to have some problems, teething problems on a new version anyway. But it does look very cool, and I'm very keen to see what they have to say about it. Unlimited draw calls, unlimited polygons. I mean, doesn't that sound wonderful? Grizzly Gear says to Sniper Girl, good, the ram skull was a bit of a pain, but nothing too bad. Sniper Girl says, no surprise there. Anything organic is a pain, it certainly is. Sniper Echo says, yes, some devs do. Yeah, I know some devs do have access to UE5 and they are developing for it right now. Hellforge says, now's your chance to ask the million questions you had before your internet falls face first in the ditch. So yeah. So what are we going to talk about? You guys wanted me to do just chat. What do we want to chat about? We chatted about Unreal. What else is there? Anything? That's right, I finished watching the Castlevania series on Netflix. It was really good. That's the season 4, I think it was I think the best season of them all. I enjoyed it the most of all the seasons in Castlevania. I thought it was really good. I liked the creature designs and stuff. It was really, really cool. And they gave everybody... Well, I won't spoil it for anyone that hasn't watched it, but yeah, it was a good series. One of my best. One of the best I think they released. Sniper Girl says, yeah, unlimited as long as it's not got vegetation. That's a good point. Reason the video trailer took place in the desert canyon. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to do about that. I'm sure they'll solve that problem, but yeah, they didn't have any vegetation because, yeah, I don't know what the issue there is with vegetation is. I wonder why they're having a problem implementing vegetation in the engine, in the new version of the engine, because it works really well in version 4, vegetation, speed tree particularly. Sniper Girl says, if we're dildos, what do you do to us when we're not looking? Get your mind out of the gutter. Sniper Echo says, UE5, every blade of grass can now be all polygons, no more alpha overdraw. All the polygons. No alphas at all anymore, it's just all poly. Poly. Hellforge says, the new season of Love, Death and Robots, I watched that too. Love, Death and Robots is out now on Netflix with some quality CGI. Yep, I watched the new season of Love, Death and Robots as well. There's only like 5 or 6 episodes in the season. And they don't go for very long, they're only like 15 to 20 minutes long each. I think my favourite actually I think was episode 1 with the woman with the vacuum cleaner. The robot vacuum cleaner. That's probably my favourite of all of Love, Death and Robots season 2, the first episode. Grizzly Gear says Castlevania was amazing. I agree, it was really good. And season 4, the one that was just released on Netflix, was really, really probably my favourite of all the seasons of Castlevania. It was really, really good. Sniper Girl says, please no spoilers for the last season of Castlevania. I won't give you any spoilers, but just to say it's my favourite season, the last season of Castlevania. Sniper Echo says, I'm going to text you with vertex colours. No more actual textures will be used. Yura says, I just never got into Castlevania. Yeah, look. when the season 1 of Castlevania, I found a little bit boring. Or was it season 2? One of the seasons was really boring. But the last season was really good. And yeah, it took me a while to get into it too. Sniper Echo says, I must watch this Love, Death and Robots thing. I hear things. Yeah, it's really good. It's good. And like has been said, some of the animation in it's really, really nicely done, depending on who did it and what the episode is. But yeah, my favourite would be episode 1 of the new season of Love, Death and Robots. It's the old lady with her dog and the robot vacuum cleaner. I thought that was pretty cool. Not visually, it's not the most visually interesting one, but the story I found the most interesting. I think the most visually interesting one is the one with the guy and the girl out in the desert. Like he's being hunted. As far as CGI goes, that was really nicely done. Elford says, Phil, what's your favourite brand of coffee? My favourite brand of coffee. I have a few, and probably different ones than what you guys have over in Europe or the US. But we have a company, a coffee company called Victoria with a V. I live in Victoria, but this coffee company is called Vittoria. They're probably my favourite brand of coffee. I like the taste of their coffee quite a lot. Yeah, I'd say Victoria. I don't like Starbucks or any of that rubbish. We have that here as well. Like you can buy their coffee, but Victoria. It's a coffee company that's in Australia that roasts their own coffee. But I like to buy organic coffee beans as well, if I can. Everything organic. Whenever I can, I buy organic, like vegetables too. Because I don't like the pesticides. They're not good for you. The same with eggs. Always buy free-range eggs. They taste better and the chickens are looked after much better than those battery cage poor chickens that they, pump the eggs out in this little cage where they can't move. They literally cannot move. Like there might be 2 or 3 of them to a cage and they just can't. It's cruel. It's really cruel. So always buy cage-free eggs as well. And they just taste better. Sniper Echo says to Euro, I don't even know what that is. Sniper Echo says also, hey. Euro says Army of the Dead is, yeah, I saw that on Netflix. I haven't watched it. Army of the Dead is pretty good if you like zombie flicks. It's on Netflix, yeah. I have seen that on Netflix, but I haven't actually watched it. It's made by the same guy that did Day of the Dead, I think. So it might be cool. I've heard good things. I haven't watched it, but I have heard good things. Alford says to Sniper Echo, each episode is its own self-contained thing with different art styles. So if one episode isn't doing it for you, you can skip to the next one without missing the overarching story. Yeah, it is. It's good. And there's some really nice animation on some of the episodes in Love, Death and Robots. And there's 2 seasons of it. The second season just dropped, so... But then there aren't many episodes, and they are quite short. They only go for like 15 or 20 minutes, probably, each episode in each season. And yeah, as Hellforge says, all the episodes are different stories, so if you don't like one, you can skip through. That's. I mean, what's it called? Black Mirror. You guys watch Black Mirror? I mean, I watch that as well. But not all the episodes in Black Mirror I like, so I just skip some of them if they're a bit boring. But Black Mirror is another cool show that you could watch. Sniper Echo says, Phil, have you played around with UE4's virtual height field meshes? No, I haven't. I'm not actually even familiar with these virtual height field meshes. When were they introduced? Sniper Echo, I've not used them, I haven't played with them, and this is the first I've actually heard of them. What are they exactly? Oh, they're a virtual height field mesh, but no, I haven't used them. I didn't even know about them. I tend to get caught up, if I'm not using it for the project, I tend to ignore it when Epic release anything new. Euro says, that's another series I just noped on. Yeah, Black Mirror, I don't like all the episodes in Black Mirror either. Some of them are, yeah. Some of them are good, but yeah, a lot of them I didn't really like either in Black Mirror. But I did really like some of them. but just not most of them. Hellboy says, beyond the Aquila Rift and Lucky 13, got some really solid CGI in Season 1. Yeah. Sniperaker says, it replaces the depreciated tessellation piece. I didn't know they depreciated tessellation. You guys know, when we first started creating the game, we were using tessellation for the landscape. We removed tessellation because at the time tessellation wasn't compatible with ray tracing, and because we were implementing ray tracing in the game, we removed tessellation, and we were only using tessellation on the landscape. But yeah, no, I wasn't aware that they'd removed tessellation for this virtual height build stuff. Interesting. Hellforge says, for Love, Death and Robots. Euro says, depreciated or depreciated or or deprecated. Words matter. Yeah, that was the reason we removed tessellation from the game, was because it wasn't at the time compatible with ray tracing. And ray tracing to us was more important than tessellation, because you couldn't really see it on the landscape once it was covered with grass anyway. It was a bit pointless. I'm not saying tessellation is pointless. I'm just saying for our use case in the game that we're making, it really wasn't noticeable. And we never used it on any of the assets in the building anyway, so. But I'll have to check out this virtual height build stuff, because it does sound interesting. Yeah, I wonder if it's even going to be an issue with Unreal Engine 5 anyway. If you can have unlimited polygons, why would you go with either tessellation or virtual height build if you could just throw the polys at it? Which is what Epic are saying. They're saying unlimited polygons, unlimited draw calls. I mean, those are bold claims. Trust me. In games development, they're like the holy grail. If you can release an engine where you can have unlimited polygons, unlimited draw calls, then that's game changing. We'll see. And they're obviously doing it by streaming. That's what they're doing. They're streaming in the polys and they're streaming in the textures. They're not actually loading them all in at once like current games do. Because I've just noticed with the game that I'm working on with the guys, since we've implemented level streaming, it has improved performance quite a lot compared to having everything loaded in at the same time. Obviously. It's like duh. But yeah, so I'm going to be interested to see how the engine performs and what you actually need to run it, more importantly. Like if they're doing streaming, are you going to need an NVMe SSD to actually be able to play anything written with created in UE5? No one knows at this stage. You probably won't. At a guess, I would say you won't. But if you have an NVMe SSD, the performance will be better. Hellforge says, what have you been playing lately when you're not busy with work? I haven't been playing anything, Hellforge. I haven't played a game in months, not since I rebuilt the new computer anyway. I just haven't had time and I haven't reinstalled anything. I still have my games installed on my old stream machine here, but the old machine. But no, I haven't played anything. Yeah, no, haven't had a chance, unfortunately. So I'm waiting for Sniper Girl to get those points. What have you guys been playing recently, though? More importantly, yeah, Hellforge, what have you been playing? You been playing anything? Or any of you guys, what have you been playing? What games you've been playing? Euro says, the only company who knows about tessellation is Crytek. Sniper Girl says, all I know is they said the PS2 was unlimited, so yeah. Grizzly Gear says, I believe it when I see it. You're not the only one. Sniper Girl says to Sniper Echo, how well does virtual height build mesh work? Yeah, are you using it, Sniper Echo? Are you using virtual height build meshes? Euro says, gonna need some meaty NVMEs and that update to Windows DirectX that's coming for that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's called Direct Storage, I think they're calling it. NVIDIA are bringing, will be incorporating it into their driver at some stage as well. I'm not sure what NVIDIA are calling it, but it's a spin-off of Microsoft's Direct Storage thing, which is apparently part of DirectX Ultimate, which is the next version of DirectX 12. I believe it's going to be released with, I guess Microsoft will probably release it with the next version of Windows 10, which is called Codenamed Sun Valley, I think. So the next upgrade to Windows 10, the next feature pack, whatever you want to call it. You know, they do every 6 months, they do a major upgrade of Windows 10, the next one. Not the one that was just released here in May, but the next one. Sniper Echo says they work perfectly so far, although they still haven't solved the collision issue. So the result is the same as tessellation. That's, yeah. Sniper Girl says, and you can distance fade it like you can with tessellation to where the further you are, the less the height field is. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. Although, like I said, I'm going to be interested to see how all this, how Unreal 5 affects all of this stuff. Because if what they say is true about the new version of the engine, then a lot of the stuff that they've created for UE4 won't be required in UE5. So we'll have to wait and see. Like, a lot of the stuff they've created in UE4 was for performance reasons. So if that's no longer an issue in UE5, then I guess they'll be useless in UE5. Well, nothing is ever useless. I shouldn't say that. That's a bad choice of words. Less important. Sniper Echo says, yeah, it also has LOD settings. Oh, lodding, actually, that'd be really cool. Sniper Girl says, cool, can you Vertex paint with it? Yura says, 3D Studio Max, Toolbag 4, Sumex normal, a bit of IntelliJ is all I've been playing lately. Well, I'm the same. I've been playing UE4, 3ds Max. Grizzly Gear says, Escape from Tarkov has been my latest game of addiction. I haven't played that actually. I've heard good things again about that. I know that Smurf got into, I can't remember the name of it now. No, I can't remember the name of it, the game he's been playing recently. Sniper Echo says, so far performance is much better than using tessellation, for me at least. Alford says, I've been playing a bit of Diablo, good old Diablo 3, and Left 4 Dead 2. Lately for fun. Anything else has been purely for grabbing reference pictures for upcoming 3D projects. I've heard good things about Days Gone. That's been released now on the PC. That's the PlayStation was exclusive to PlayStation. It's just been released and I've heard good things about it. I haven't played it, but I've watched a Let's Play of a PS5 version of it. It did look like fun. If you're into those zombie games. It's supposed to be a good one, and they're not going to be making a second one, unfortunately. I can't remember the reason they aren't going to be making a second Days Gone. I mean, the story is awful. It's about bikers and stuff. But not that I don't like bikers, but it's a bit blokey. Yeah, yeah. The story I didn't really like, the backstory. But the graphics and the gameplay look like fun. And Diablo 3, that's always good. A good game to be playing anyway. Hellforge. Sniper Echo says to Sniper Girl, I haven't tried that actually, but I suspect you can. Talking about Vertex painting, I think. Hellforge says, speaking of which, have you seen anything from Resident Evil Village? No, some of the interiors look like something you'd enjoy, Phil. Yeah, I thought that too. Look, I did. When I first saw the interior of the mansion in that game, yeah, I did like it. It does look nice. And it's gotten good reviews. It's not a ray tracing title. There is no ray tracing in it because I believe it's an AMD sort of sponsored title, which is fine. I mean, because it still looks good. And I've heard people enjoy it. I haven't played it. I don't tend to play the Resident Evil games. I don't think I've ever played a Resident Evil game. I like the movies and I like the anime. But I don't think I've ever played one of the games. But it does look nice. And yeah, I did notice the interior, the stairwell particularly. They had like this curved stairwell. I really liked the design of that. So you are correct. I do like it, and I have noticed it, but I haven't played it. Especially the Castle Halford says, yeah. Sniper Echo says, I've been able to increase my landscape shader performance by 1700% with some of the latest features. Jeez, that's quite incredible. 1700%. That's impressive. You're on 426 though, aren't you, Sniper Echo, or 426.2 or whatever they're up to at the moment? Yuri says, I saw a super cut of the character with the big bazookas. That's about all I know about Resident Evil Village. Yeah, I can't remember her name. Everyone's talking about her though. Hellforge says she got an ass that arrives 5 minutes after the rest of her too. Oh man. Sniper Girl says to Sniper Echo, we'll give it a try. Sniper Girl says, I play Unreal Engine, Maya, ZBrush and also Substance Painter. I need to play a game. Yeah, I need to play a game as well. It's good. I like playing computer games. I mean, I always have. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always loved playing computer games, and I miss when I don't play computer games. It's the whole reason years ago I got into games development was because I like computer games so much. So yeah, I have to. I'm the same. I must start playing a game again. It's just finding the time. That's the reason I need to take next week off. I need to. At the moment, I'm doing 4 different projects. I need to get to another 2 of them finished, which I'll do next week by not streaming, and I have meetings and stuff in the studios as well. And that will leave me with 2 projects, which is much more manageable. Because you guys know I had 6, and I was starting to feel like a little under the weather because I was being overworked. We got that down to 4. Next week I'll get that down to 2, and 2 is manageable. Sniper says, last game I played was... ... Euro says, I need to find a few hundred hours of spare time so I can replay The Witcher 3 for a different ending. Yeah, I actually should replay The Witcher 3. I like that game. One of my favourite games. And I have the DLC for it too, and I don't think I've ever finished the DLC or ever started the DLC for it, and it's supposed to be just as good as the main game. So I must reinstall Witcher 3 actually, and some of the reshade mods maybe. Sniper Girl says, you like the Resident Evil movies? Yeah, I do. What's wrong with you? Everyone says that, but I like the Resident Evil movies. I thought they were pretty good. I mean, they're not, they're not going to change the world, but they're entertaining. A couple of, an hour and a half of escapism, they're alright. I enjoyed the Resident Evil movies, even the animated ones. I've watched them all. They're bringing out a new Resident Evil, they're rebooting it. Both a new movie and a new animated movie. So I'll watch both of those as well. Sniper Echo says, it's either impressive, Phil, or my previous attempt was so shockingly bad. Okay, talking about the 1700% improvement. Wow, it's blowing a gale where I am at the moment. Euro says, I love the Resident Evil movies. Mila Djokovic is great in those. She is. She did a good job as the lead character in those movies, I thought. She's married to the director of them, so I guess, she was always going to get the part. Sniper Echo says, I'm staying positive about it though. Sniper Girl says, have 19.4k in points so soon. Okay. Euro's got 50,000. Man, I hate to think how many Sniper Echo's got then. Sniper Girl says to Euro, why the hell haven't you had him get games there? Sniper Echo says, off topic, anybody here played with the Oculus Quest? No, I have not. Any of you guys played with the Oculus Quest? Alford says, I've got 65.9 thousand points. If we combine it all together, we can get a full game stream. What is my rule? They play a game. Is that for the entire stream? I can't remember. Or did I give it a time limit? I don't remember. Euro says, I don't know. Sniper Girl says, no, I'm an anti-FB. Sniper Echo says, I still don't get my 120k price right. You lost them, didn't you? I don't know what happened there. Yeah, poor Sniper. Oh. Yura says, yeah, I don't like the idea of hardware lock to an advertising company who lives behind a data paywall. Me either. I mean, Facebook are evil at the best of times anyway, the way they behave. So I wouldn't support them in any way, shape or form. You don't want them data mining you. They're a terrible, terrible company for that. Sniper Girl says Facebook was caught selling data even if you selected the privacy options to tell them not to. Why does that not surprise me? I'm sorry to say, but Facebook are one of the worst. I don't like social media at the best of times. I mean, I have social media accounts because I'm a streamer and I have to. But I really don't like social media. I think it does more harm than good to society, to be honest with you. And of all of the social media companies, Facebook are the worst. You couldn't pick a worse company for their business practices. So I wouldn't support them. I wouldn't buy their hardware either. Even if I was inclined to want to try virtual reality, I wouldn't choose theirs. Hypereka says, I might have to use that hardware soon, so trying to get some feedback from people. Euro says, I haven't used Facebook in a decade. No, I ain't missing anything. No, you're not, Euro. Sniper Girl says, and they have access to biometric data and a mic through the Quest. No thanks, I don't trust them at all. Neither do I. Don't trust them, guys. Really don't. Do not trust Facebook. Don't trust any of the big tech companies for that matter. They're all the same. Facebook are the worst, but they're all the same. Yeah, Euro says, I haven't used Facebook in a decade. I ain't missing anything. Sniper Girl says, Facebook. FB is Facebook. Yeah, okay, I got that. My brain ain't that slow and old. I got that. Sniper Girl says, I like Twitter. Look, Twitter is better than Facebook, but Twitter I don't think are any much better, like as far as your privacy goes and the data they try and collect. I don't have a personal Facebook page. I don't have a personal social media account generally. My Twitter account is PhilDoes3D. I don't have a PhilDoes3D Facebook. The game has a Facebook account because, you know, you need one if you're making a game. Yeah, but I don't have personal Twitter or Facebooks or anything. Sniper Girl says, I stay far, far away from Facebook. Yes, please do. Don't do Facebook. It's terrible. Alford says, remember to have some coffee. Yura says, I use Twitter if you can't say it in 280 characters or a picture. It's gonna be TLDR. Well, it used to be 140 characters with Twitter. It's only sort of like in the last few years they've made it 280. And that was a challenge to get a tweet out with 140 characters. But Sniper says Twitter is the one I prefer to use. If I was to, Twitter is better than Facebook for sure. Sniper Girl says studies show that your movement in a VR headset peripherals can specifically link to an individual as a unique way of identifying that person. Well, there you go. Yura says, to be honest, Twitter doesn't scrape half as much as Facebook do. All those sites with a log in with Facebook button, yeah, or a share on Facebook are all slurping your data by just visiting the sites. It's the same if you notice some sites you can log in with your Google account. Google are doing the same thing. So yeah, you don't have to enter a password or a username and password. You can log in with your Google account or your Facebook account. They're both doing the same thing. And I never choose that option. If you have an option of a password, email and password, go that route. Because otherwise, yeah, they're going to be tracking you. They're going to try and track you anyway, but yeah, don't make it easy for them. Sniper Echo says, Sniper Girl, interesting. I never heard about that. Yeah, I hadn't heard about that either, but it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, avoid the Facebook. Twitter is much better than Facebook. Okay, I think we might leave it there though for today, guys and girls. I do want to thank you for hanging out with me and being here and for chatting. Sorry, I thought I didn't. Again, I forgot. Today should have been a Just Chat stream, but we got some stuff done in the kitchen. We got a bit of a chat done at the end of the stream, so it's all good. Remember, I will not be streaming next week, but I'm back the week after. So I'm just having that 1 week break so I can get on top of these last few projects for the studio and have some meetings and all that sort of jazz. You guys have a great weekend and a great week, and I'll be back not next week, but the week after. You're quite welcome. Yeah, again, thanks guys for hanging out and being here. I really do appreciate it. You have a great weekend, a great week, and I will see you not next week, but the week after. See you guys.